Hey everybody, I'm Chris,
And I'm Adam.
and this is the Gamers Hall.
And today we're going to be talking about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. But specifically, we're going to be talking about a specific subclass. And we want to talk about a few things that we find good about them, probably some things we find bad about it. And then we're going to talk about the roleplay value in those and what you can do in order to spice up the subclass a little bit, or just add extra things to a campaign that a DM can use to create maybe a driving force for the campaign, or add additional content. You know, give these characters flavor.
Maybe the specific area that you're going to, how's the subclass fit into this area that your players are about to adventure into.
Yeah. And we want to touch on a couple of ways that maybe this subclass can fit into different worlds. Different campaign settings, because some of these are pretty spot on what campaign setting they fit in.
Yeah,
some of them are not. All right, so we're going to talk about the Order of the Scribes subclass for the Wizards, and I love this subclass. I absolutely love this Wizard subclass.
It's amazing. No doubt about it. It is a great subclass.
So many things you can do, and with a little, just 2-level dip, even then it still gives you access to quite a bit.
Yeah, but I feel like anyone playing this class, to get the most out of it, you're going to want to go full.
Oh, I agree. You're 100% want to go all the way with the spell class.
Yeah.
So Wizardly Quill, you have a quill that doesn't need to use ink, so nifty. That's cool. But you can spend, instead of spending 2 hours per spell level of putting spells in your book, you spend 2 minutes per spell level putting in your book.
That's huge right there.
You still need the gold cost worth of the spell level to put it in your book of components or whatever. But on the fly, this guy finds a scroll of whole person. He doesn't have whole person. He just says, "Okay, give me 4 minutes. I can get this in my spell book."
Yeah, that man.
And then take a short rest and do something with it. Like, there's so many things you could. Just that 2 minutes. That's so cool. Downtime is not a big thing for you on spell books.
Oh, not to mention, let's talk about the fact that this quill writes anything. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're talking to somebody. You're talking to a king. You're talking to the big bad evil guy or whoever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, while they're talking, while you guys are having this conversation, your quill is just sitting there writing everything down. So like, you could literally go back and be like, "Hey, what did he say? Oh, he said this. He said this. We said this."
Oh, if I could have that Wizardly Quill as a DM that was doing that for me, so everything I'm saying is written in notes, so I can go back and look at it and read it instead of, obviously a tape recorder works the same, but come on, that is so cool.
Yeah. But imagine that your player could literally have this subclass and literally bring a tape recorder to their sessions and just be like, hey, that's what they're using.
Yeah, that's what my Wizardly Quill, and then they set up a little thing on their back, maybe on their backpack, that has a book that will constantly be writing behind them. And then if the quill will flip the page for them and write the next spot. I mean...
Yeah, it's basically just like the wizard lady in the Harry Potter books. Mm-hmm. She's the journalist, and so there's literally a quill in a book that follows her around. Like, that's basically that.
Yeah. So moving on, we got Awakend
Spellbook.
Awakend Spellbook. Bookcast is your spell focus.
Yep.
Which is good. So now it's just another thing you can use. And now there's actually magical spell books that they've started adding into the game. So that's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
That gives you more flavor, because obviously there are always been special spell books. So now...
But now you really have a special spell book.
Now you really have a special spell book.
You can cast one ritual spell normally without spending a spell slot once per day, per long rest.
Yeah. Detect magic. I got it.
Yeah.
Instead of spending 10 minutes on it, I just go...
Unseen Servant. We really need it in this situation.
Tensor's Floating Disc.
Got it.
And then
Now,
the big deal.
bread and butter of this class right here.
Yeah, this is what everybody's going to want that 2-level dip for, but it only works for wizard spells, so you're going to want to go farther with it. But you can cast a spell with a spell slot. You can temporarily replace its damage type with another spell of the same level when you cast it. So that means things like I can shoot a fireball, but it has lightning damage because I also know lightning bolt. So the more spells you know, the more you can mess with damage types. So you become in combat, you have a lot of utility.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I can almost guarantee you that Magic Missile is going to be one of your first level spells that you're getting for this class, and I guarantee you, second level, somebody's getting Dragon's Breath because you've got fire, ice, lightning, cold, and poison, or is it acid?
Acid. I think it's acid. Yeah.
But either way, you get a bunch of elemental types just for that.
One spell that can do it all.
Yeah. And then, now, obviously, the lower level spells is where this ability is going to shine a lot more because there's just more out there.
Yeah, when you go up into the higher levels, replacing the damage type really doesn't matter all that much. I think it's like 4th level, it just stops being like, okay, who cares? But low level, really manipulating how these things go, and then also the ability to upcast a spell into a different level so it counts as a different level. So that second level Magic Missile now can use Dragon's Breath, and you can
replace it with any of those damage types.
Yeah,
because whatever you upcast to that's the spell level that you can choose the damage type from.
Yeah, just a lot of versatility, a lot of utility that is actually not that overpowered because it is completely dependent upon the spells that you know.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of people casting Fireball at 5th level and switching the damage type with Psychic with the Synaptic Static spell.
Knowing both, which Synaptic's kind of that same thing anyway, but the fact that you can just go, well, now I'm going to shoot 10d8 Psychic damage, that's
because the Synaptic Static has less damage than a Fireball that's upcast.
Yeah. But it does some other little abilities. So if you just need that pure damage, there you go. You got it. A Cone of Cold being changed into a different element. I forgot what that one could be, but I mean, you can. There's just this ability, 2 levels, a lot of utility.
Oh yeah.
So the next one, Manifest Mind. This is good because it effectively gives you a familiar for free.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do all the same things that a Find Familiar spell would do, but it has some, and it's give and take.
It's give and take. It lets you cast a spell through the little manifestations, just spectral, up to your
intelligence modifier. You can see and hear what the spectral manifestation is without going into a trance.
Yeah. So you can just always know, which that's extremely useful. But it's just a nice little ability. It's really, there's nothing bad about it. It's just all good.
Yeah.
So the next part, you're getting into your higher level abilities. MasterScrivener. This is where I feel this class starts really shining because you're going to get to make a spell scroll for free per long rest. It's either a 1st or 2nd level spell. You're gaining an extra spell slot as a wizard. And 1st and 2nd level spells are tons of utility. So being able to say, I have a backup invisibility spell at all times. I don't have to prepare any of my other spells for this. I can say they're all combat, but I have my oh crap spell.
Yeah.
Waiting. Or maybe you are the supportive guy and you say, well, I've got my prepared 2nd level Magic Missile. Just in case that thing I need to pop the damage on. I have that one thing locked and loaded.
Yeah, if we know there's something that, it's got, it's vulnerable to a certain damage type, that 2nd level Magic Missile with Dragon's Breath, we got it covered.
I mean, and on top of that, it gives you're adept at crafting spell scrolls. So now it costs you half the amount of money to craft spell scrolls.
which spell scrolls I feel like are so underused in Dungeons and Dragons because one, you don't have to prepare
in this edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, you don't have to prepare the spells. They're basically free castings, and all you have to do is pull it out and cast it.
I'm gonna my Arcana check real quick.
You only need an Arcana check if it's above what you can cast. If you can cast, if you have that level of casting, free.
Yeah, but now you can make your friends all these little spell scrolls. Quickly and easily, for cheap.
Oh yeah,
because you don't have to spend the ink either. Half the cost and all of those stuff. It's great. It's a great ability that not a lot of people will see as a good one. I think this is probably underrated.
This could easily just be you hoarding the spells, or it can be you creating them and really be contributing to the party.
Yes,
like this is me being a team player. Hey, like you're Arcane Trickster, you're an Eldritch Knight. Here you go. Just in case you wanted to cast these spells. I know it's on your list. Here.
Yeah, I've made them beforehand. We had downtime. We had a week import or whatever. I'm going to take this time to make a bunch of spell scrolls of all the spells I collected because that's what this guy's going to do.
Yeah, just in case you're up there fighting too many enemies, here's a Burning Hands.
Now, the last ability, not spell, and this is where collecting all those spells really, really comes into play here.
Yes.
One with the word. I love this. It is a free get out of jail free card for wizards. Because one time you would take a lot of damage and you can say, as a reaction, I take none. No damage. 0 damage. Nothing happens to you. You just say no. However, there's a big downside.
Well, yeah, you roll 3d6. Whatever that total is, you have to lose that many levels of spells.
Not spell slots.
Yes.
Spells.
So if you get lucky and roll 3, you can either lose a 3rd level spell, a 2nd level spell, and a 1st level spell, or 3 1st level spells.
Yeah.
Whatever combination, but pray to God you don't roll 3 6s.
Yeah, 18 spell levels. Like, that's 2 9th level spells. And you get this at 14th level, so you should have quite a few spells that you've acquired, and especially if you've gotten this far, you're going to be actively pushing to there's a person who sells spell scrolls. Oh, there's a spell book. I want that. Can I have that? And you're going to be going for those all the time, asking for those as rewards, hunting all that down. I mean, you are devouring all this, and the fact that you can do this once per long rest. Say that one guy just took that radiant disintegration. You took a radiant disintegration to the face, which is totally possible at this level, and you just go, "What you said? 86 damage I'm taking? Nah, I'm okay. I'll take 0."
Yeah, or maybe that disintegration rate, it takes you to 0, so you would be dead.
Yeah,
there's no getting you back. There's your get out of jail free.
Yeah,
there's your no, I didn't die. I can't do it again. But
and then I lost. Oh no, I lost mage armor and cone of cold. I can't use those. Which the cool thing is, you actually get those back after a number of long rests, so they're not gone forever. But even if you were to have a scroll that you've saved for, let's say, cone of cold. You basically look at that and go, I don't understand what that means. You can't use that spell, period. It's like your mind blanks on it, and you're not capable of using that spell until it comes back after that long rest.
Yep.
Or after... No.
A D6 long rest.
D6 long rest. But the fact that a wizard can just say, no, I don't feel like dying right now, is huge.
So huge.
Huge.
So huge.
Especially for the class that usually has the least amount of hit points.
So let's get into the bad of this class. One of the things that I see bad about this class is that multi-classing, you're almost not going to multi-class or want to multi-class in this because it's gonna be a detriment to you. You want to get higher in those levels because one, the higher level abilities are just that good. And multi-classing with this wizard, it doesn't really... I mean, I'm sure there are things you... Like, 2-level fighter is good for anything.
Right. But this one is you just need to be this class. This is the thing you need to be. It drives all your abilities being the wizard.
Yeah.
And everything you're going to be doing is going to be better because you're a wizard. Now, another bad thing about this class, it's both its strength and its weakness. You need lots of spells in your book.
Yeah. So DM, if this class, if someone's playing this subclass, you need to be prepared and doing research on how are you going to be divvying out magic items? Are you going to be giving out scrolls? How is this person going to find scrolls? What are the costs of these scrolls? Who's going to have spell books for this person to copy spells? Because that's what this player character is going to be striving for.
Is there a person that can train them? I mean, can they go to a library and learn? Can they go to a wizard school? This person is going to push all of that on you, constantly saying, I need these things so I can play my subclass.
Yeah, and the DM's going to have to figure out, well, my NPCs, would they share their spells or would they keep them to themselves?
Yeah.
Or, would
Tasha actually show off hideous laughter?
Yeah.
I mean, would you change the names of the spell? If it has a special name, do you have to learn it from that person? Especially if you're playing in Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these people come from.
Exactly. What kind of quest are you going to have to come up with for this person to gain access to the spells that they want to find? So it's going to require a little more work on the DM, because this character has a driving force, and every town they go to, everywhere they're going, they're looking for a specific thing.
Yep. And the other, big downside, I said it in the good, but also in the bad, is the fact that you're 14th level, you're losing access to spells.
Yeah, because now when you lose access to those spells, like he said, scrolls, you can't cast them. If you lost Magic Missile, well, guess what? That wand of Magic Missiles, you cast the spell when you activate that wand. Now you can't. You may as well hand that wand to somebody else because you can't cast it now.
It just doesn't make any sense to you. Like a Staff of Power now with all those spells in there. Well, you've got one, but you've forgotten how to use the Fireball, the Cone of Cold, the Magic Missile, the Mage Armor, and you're like, I don't know what this thing does anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've lost that. And that's a big detriment for a big plus.
The payout is you don't die. The detriment is how much time do you have to get these spellbacks or these spells back?
Yeah.
Or are you guys on a quest that is very time dependent?
Yeah. And then the other one is you give up being good at one thing that the other spell wizards are. They're typically good at one thing and get better at that for versatility.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it takes away from a focus. Where you're now the most versatile guy in the party, where you have something for everything, but you're not going to be the best at that one thing.
Yeah. I also see a lot of power players getting this subclass and focusing super heavily on those damage dealing spells because they can change the damage type, and that's very important. Mm-hmm. But I also see them not picking up a lot of utility spells or support spells or control spells because they're focusing so much on those damage dealing spells and being able to interchange them.
Which will be a loss to the roleplay value of this. And the utility value of this subclass, which is where this thing shines, is utility. I think that's pretty much the bad, which honestly not that bad.
No, it's not that bad, but it is it's the big bad of it is that how much time you're gonna take figuring out what spells you want, what spells you need to find, and the DM figuring out how you're going to get those and what you need to do.
It's mostly the bad there.
Roleplay. Let's get into it. I could easily see this one being a Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Even though he's a sorcerer, he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard. He does research.
Yeah.
He took time learning and training.
He doesn't have innate ability in magic. He's just he quickly learns the magic. Because he's very smart. And yes, he does have a knack for it, but it's not like in his blood. He had needed to learn this.
Yeah, and you...
And
who couldn't reflavor and say that the book is actually the cape?
Yeah, or his Eye of Agamotto. He casts through all the time. That could be it as well. And one with a word, I mean, that's just him throwing off his big fancy spell to stop the whatever's going to hit him. I mean, Doctor Strange would fit really well in this.
Definitely.
And his cape could be the quill that's always writing down behind him, doing random things behind him.
Yeah.
The manifest mind, is him projecting.
Oh yeah, because the little astral projections that they're always doing.
Yep.
Yeah, easily do that.
What's
something you got?
I love this anime, Black Clover, because every character in Black Clover has a spellbook that floats near them that they use to cast their spells or their grimoire. It's always there, so you could be like Asta, and you could play a strength-based or dexterity-based kind of wizard,
Shadow Sword,
and pull out the Shadow Sword. I mean, you can do Vermilion and be the fire shooting out. I mean, there's so many cool things from that this would fit.
They're always trying to add new spells to their books.
Yeah, they're always trying to learn more. I could definitely see this fitting in there. It'd be a little tweak on it, but it definitely
wouldn't be. It wouldn't be much though.
No,
it really wouldn't be that much.
No, it would be fun. It'd be
absolutely
interesting to do. And you definitely could add splashing in subclasses for that. Would definitely add to that particular roleplay value of this. Yes, you definitely want to go higher in that, but once you got like 5th level in this wizard or 6th level in this wizard, then you can definitely splash a little bit in to get those other roleplay aspects into picking up one of those characters.
Yeah, and I could easily, speaking of that, I could easily see this being the wizard version of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Where you are changing all of your damage types, and every spell you cast can either be fire, lightning, cold for water, bludgeoning for earth.
Yep.
And what am I missing?
Air. Yeah. And then eventually spirit. Because you can change the psychic damage when you manipulate their spirit energy.
Yeah.
Totally. This would fit there because you would just be actively looking for different ways of manipulating the surroundings around you.
Yeah. And a 1 level dip into monk, or you don't even have to do it. You could just say that you were this. You could just play out a monk that's more wizard.
Yeah, the scribe version of the monk. It could be that. Or even 2 levels of fighter, and then you pick up the unarmed ability, so you actually can hit with your.
Oh yeah.
And then you have the ability to have an extra action on your turn.
Oh man, yeah, that's your avatar state. Pow, pow, throwing out multiple
quick
elements.
Avatar state. I mean, that's some pretty cool stuff. Now, another way I thought of how you could flavor this is you're a tech wizard. So your quill and your spellbook are like an iPad or a tablet in front of you, and you're typing into it, and it's recording your things. And then when you cast your spells, you literally see the code in front of you, and you change codes and add to. So you have the fireball code in front of you, and you take out the code part and put it into the lightning bolt code, switch it around. So now it's the new code you use, and you press it and enter and activate your spells. So you're actually...
That's an interesting way of combining. It's like, okay, fireball here, lightning ball. Ha!
Yeah, and you're moving things around. Manifest mind, so you'll just see the code going to zeros and ones dropping down in front of you while you're reading it and using it. Very tech, otherworldly feel for a fantasy version, but depending on what you're playing in, I mean, that might fit a lot of different roles.
You could be a race that was like raised by Modrones.
Oh my gosh, yes. You understand.
That's why you understand the code and everything.
Oh my gosh, and you're all about accumulating the knowledge and getting everything in working order.
Oh yeah, like imagine that would work so well in oh my god, why can't I think of it? The Spelljammer, yes,
yeah.
Spelljammer.
It would, because space style fantasy there, and yeah, oh my gosh, that would work. That would be great. Also, it would work a little bit in like the Ravnica setting. Like you could be because they had encoding and other magic spells that work in Ravnica
definitely.
lore. So like a Dimir house wizard is actually one of these, and he's doing the little coding effects, encoding different abilities on people, and picking up little tablets and floppy disks that you can hand people. Here, insert this into your back real quick.
Eberron.
I could see Eberron with this. With that, definitely in Eberron, this would fit fantastic in Eberron. Just the search for more information, going to Zendrick for this. Like, we need to find these old spells that the giants used to have. Or let's go talk to a dragon. The dragon is 100% going to know these things, which that leads into another role-playing aspect. This subclass can single-handedly drive a campaign.
Oh, absolutely. 100% sure.
Single-handedly drive a campaign.
Yeah, what was that elemental adventure? That Prince of Apocalypse?
Prince of Apocalypse,
yeah. You like this subclass would fit into that campaign super well.
Or you need to find like you're on the search for maybe the Book of Vile Darkness, or you're on the search for a Mordekainen spellbook, or somebody. This guy would be the focal point, which is it's the strength, the weakness, and now the focal point of a whole campaign of this guy. So a DM can go, okay, cool, I'll build around that. If you're not afraid of getting that, you're like, okay, well, you want this? Let's just make it the campaign.
Yeah,
you get your band of brothers together because they need to find this spellbook to save the nation or whatever. And now your wizard subclass is what's driving the campaign.
That would be fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
So by far, this is personally my favorite subclass that they put in Tasha's.
Okay.
Roleplay aspect, utility aspect, all that stuff. This is just a very unique and fun way to play a wizard.
Yeah, and not to mention just all the different ways I could see players flavoring up their spells on how it's changing, why it's changing, or why they're even looking for spells. Yep. Like, what's their reasons behind this? Like, there's a lot of opportunities with this subclass.
Yeah, very fun subclass. Yeah. And if you guys had some other ideas of what you could do with this, or other places that this might be flavored in different campaigns, put them down in the comments.
Yeah. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hit that little notification bell so you know when we post more.
All right, but until then, guys, keep having fun with your friends and keep rolling those nat 20s.
Nat what?
20s?
Nat 20s? Oh, I thought you said nat 27.
I was going to say 7 and I stopped.
Nat 27. Not a die you can roll.
Yeah, you can actually. They're D30s.
Yeah, but
they make them.
They do, but not for 5th edition.
No.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. D100s. You can roll a nat 27.
Percentiles. There are percentiles aren't used that much, though. I feel like they could be used more.
I think this is the 0% done.